Hey, my name is Caleb. I'm a former barista trainer and latte art competitor. Today I'm here at the Odyssey headquarters to talk about steaming and milk science on the Argos Espresso Machine. Before we start steaming, I want to give a little background on why we steam the way that we steam. So when we steam milk, you're going to want to aerate or add air to the milk all at the very beginning and then incorporate or mix the air all into the milk after that. So the first stage, which is about maybe 30% of the time, is going to be all adding air, and then the rest, the last 70%, is going to be all trying to mix those bubbles down as small as possible till you get that tight microfoam that we're looking for latte art. The reason that we want to add all of the air at the beginning rather than throughout the entire process is that as the milk is cold, fresh out of the freezer, whether that's whole milk or oat milk, the fats that are in the milk are going to be in a solid state rather than in a liquid state. As the milk heats up, those fats are going to melt. When we add the air at the beginning, all of the proteins that are in the milk can bond with the air and hold all of the air bubbles together nice and strong so you don't get a bubbly mess. When you add the air too late, all of the fat has already melted, and then the proteins and the fat can mix together and bond, and then you're not having as tight of a microfoam with your milk. As we go to add our milk to the pitcher, we're going to add it to just about a centimeter below the bottom of the spout, so right about to here. One of the most important aspects of steaming is going to be your steam wand positioning. With your steam wand at about a 45-degree angle off of the machine, set the spout right on the corner here and the tip right in the center of the milk. From there, you're going to tilt it to the side just a little. You'll see this little ring around the end of the steam wand there. That should be about halfway submerged. And then you want to shift it over to the side. It should be about halfway between the center and the corner of the pitcher. This will help you have a strong whirlpool to break down all of the bubbles smaller and smaller until you have a really tight microfoam. If you steam with more air, you can do a traditional cappuccino, and if you steam with less air, you'll be able to do some nice latte art. Once you have your steam wand in the correct position, you're going to carefully open up your steam valve. Mine is off at the moment just for demonstration, but once you open it, it should start spinning your milk around in a circle, and you're going to hear a paper ripping sound. That's the aeration, or the adding of air to the milk. You want to do that only until you feel the cold start to leave the pitcher. Once you feel the pitcher start to get a little bit warmer, you're going to raise your pitcher up just a little bit to cut off the adding of air and start to mix and incorporate the air into the milk. Once you're at your desired temperature or just slightly too hot to touch, you're going to close your valve back up and you're done steaming. From there, give your steam wand a quick wipe down and a purge to get all of that milk residue out. Now that I've prepped my puck, we're ready to get going. One little tip that you can use to start steaming immediately after pulling your shot is that if you press the steam button, it's going to start heating up the boiler to the steaming temperature. This won't affect the temperature of your shot as it pulls, but it will allow you to start steaming immediately after your shot finishes. So we know we're at temp when both of these LEDs are shining. That means we're ready to steam. We always want to remember to purge the steam wand to get any leftover water out of the steam wand before we begin. And again after we steam to make sure that there's no milk buildup on the inside of that steam wand. If we want to pour some latte art, it's good to swirl your pitcher to get it nice and loose, and then to pop out any bubbles that you have. And then start mixing from up high, and then you're going to get the spout of your pitcher all the way down by the surface of the crema, lift up, and pull through. You have a nice little latte art heart. Just like we had talked earlier, steam wand positioning. Open the steam wand all the way up. We should have a nice whirlpool. I'm going to cut off our aeration. There we go. Perfectly steamed milk. All right, now for pouring. We're going to pour from nice and high. Mix, mix, drop it down low. I can't say. So you're gonna give it a nice swirl and tap out any bubbles that you find. Pour from nice and high up. Mix the espresso with the milk. And then starting really close to the surface of the milk, going to pour, lift up, and cut through. So